Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, of the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Ezekiel, and this video is a prophecy update on the prophecy of Ezekiel chapter 38. Alright, so let's break it down. Ezekiel 38 and verse 1, and the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So this is talking about the Russians. As the Russians are dwelling in that land today that Gog and Magog once dwelt. The Russians are not Gog and Magog, but they dwell in that land that Gog and Magog used to be in. The Russians are Edomites, who are these so-called white people, and the Edomites are the ones that are in rulership today, and they are the wicked. And say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I'll turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So Yahweh Shemishai is going to put the spirit upon the Russians to go to war, to be back in that Soviet Union spirit. And when you observe what's going on in the world, you can clearly see it, that it's happening as time goes on. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. A great company, which is a great alliance. And who are Russia's allies? Taking a look at the world, you can take a look at BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, to see who Russia is aligned with. Russia has enlisted the aid of the heathen for their cause. Because on the other end, the other side that they're fighting, that's an Edomite alliance, a so-called white alliance. You have America, which is Mystery Babylon the Great, as it says in Revelation chapter 17. You have NATO and the EU, and you have the State of Israel, which the State of Israel has been deemed as an unofficial member of NATO. So here it is in verse 5, the allies of Russia, Persia, which is known today as Iran. And when you take a look at the world and what's going on, Iran is Russia's closest ally. And the scriptures mention Persia first. So it's all aligning, because Bible prophecy is at the forefront of everything that's going on. What is written in the scriptures shall come to pass and shall happen. Ethiopia and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So this is talking about the African nations. And Putin has been building a very strong relationship with these African nations over the past years. I've bared witness to it, and I've done at least a video, perhaps more, on it. Anytime I have seen certain kinds of relation building between them, because it's Bible prophecy. You know, Putin isn't just building a relationship with Iran or these African nations or those in the BRICS just cause. You know what I'm saying? It's because of Bible prophecy. If Bible prophecy was something else, then that would be occurring. But this is what the scriptures say would occur, and so it really is occurring. And it's all in real time. We're no longer in the days of speaking about prophecy and waiting for it to happen. Now we're living through these prophecies coming to pass and the build-up towards the manifestation of them. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. So this is talking about Turkey, as Turkey is now that place where Gomer and Togarmah once dwelt. The same thing as to the identification of Russia in Ezekiel 38 and verse 2. So now, this is very important because Turkey, the scriptures is saying that Turkey is going to side with Russia and her allies in the war. Which war? World War III. Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. The second war is past, which is World War II, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. The war of Armageddon, Revelation chapter 16 verse 16. Right? The Lord is going to gather the heathen in a place which is the so-called Middle East, which is Western Asia. Right? Prepare war. Joel chapter 3 verse 9. Okay? So right now Turkey is a part of NATO. It is aligned on the opposite side of Russia, Iran, and the rest of that alliance. But the scriptures tell us that Turkey is going to be in the alliance with Russia. So then we observe current events and look at what's happening, and Bible prophecy is speaking louder than ever. So here from RT, Turkey completely cutting trade with Israel. Now, we must remember the importance of Israel in all of this. America is set as a defense to Israel. They serve Israel. Okay? They're very important. And they are an unofficial member of NATO. So they are fully and firmly a part of the alliance. And for Turkey to be against the state of Israel will affect their position. We know this because Bible prophecy lets us know that something is going to happen, that Turkey is going to side with Russia and her allies. And being against the state of Israel while being a part of NATO, the relationship is deteriorating, and it's all in real time. And this isn't the first occurrence. This has been happening over, I would say, years. The deterioration of the relationship between Turkey and its allies and moving more towards the other side, as Bible prophecy says, will happen. Okay? Turkey has severed all commercial economic ties with Israel, the state of Israel, as well as closing its airspace to some Israeli flights. Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has announced the two countries have been at odds for months over Israel's military campaign in Gaza. And yeah, a few months ago, I think it was even this year, maybe last year, Turkey declared that what the state of Israel is doing, that they're against it, you know? I think they even claim that they've been breaking international law as well. They've been very much on the necks. They've had their foot on the necks of the state of Israel. You see? The two countries have been at odds, etc. Have been at odds for months over Israel's military campaign in Gaza, with Turkey accusing the country of committing genocide. In an address to the National Parliament on Friday, Fidan said Turkey has completely cut off our trade with Israel and closed our ports to Israeli ships. We are not allowing container ships carrying weapons and ammunition to the state of Israel to enter our ports and airlines to go into our airspace. Fidan also said Turkish flagships are barred from calling at Israeli ports, and Israeli vessels are barred from Turkish ports. So this is like a full-blown situation. They have literally severed ties with what is really the most important member of that alliance on that end, NATO, EU, and America. You know what I'm saying? The importance of the state of Israel, right? And the wicked elite of Esau, Edom. Okay? They're the tribe of Amalek, the head tribe of Esau, right? It says, the agency also reported that Turkish port authorities, etc., an Israeli official told the Jerusalem Post that Turkey had already announced severing economic relationships with Israel in the past, and the relations continued, apparently referring to Ankara's suspension of imports and exports in May. The minister's comments are the latest indication of deteriorating relations between Turkey and Israel, which have been strained by the war in Gaza, which started in 2023. Turkey has accused Israel of committing genocide in Gaza, which Israel denies. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan earlier called Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu the butcher of Gaza, at one point suggesting that the scope of his war crimes surpassed those committed by that. In 2023, Turkey recalled its ambassador from Israel, and in 2024, it severed all diplomatic ties. So prophecy is speaking, right? There's no more to say on that. Then they had this linked, which this was from June 18th. Erdogan backs Iranian response to Israel. Tehran has a legal right to defend itself from West Jerusalem's banditry and stateism, the Turkish president has said. So, just 2 months ago, Turkey is backing the enemy, Iran. You see? So the prophecy is speaking. Iran has a legitimate right to respond to Israel's attack. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said, accusing West Jerusalem of engaging in banditry and state terrorism. All right. So they have defended Iran's position, and they have severed ties with the state of Israel. So they're defending the perceived enemy while destroying the relationship with the top ally on that end. Bible prophecy is speaking, and so things are going to happen eventually where they're just going to completely break off and side with them. You know, the Lord put this here for a reason, right? Ezekiel 38 and verse 6. It's very pointed, it's very intentional, right? And knowing that it's Turkey, there is a major part or a major thing to happen for them to move over completely. And so we're going to witness it in due time. Okay, so that's it. That's the update regarding the prophecy. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemukah Kodesh. Shalom.